Mascagero. Hello. I don't know if we have anyone. Mana, welcome back to Nubia Fest 2020. My name is Dima Mahmoud. I am the co-founder of the Nubia Initiative. And this is Mazen Khalil, our social media director, our public relations liaison, our coordinator and organizer and educator, and the behind the scenes glue. Nubia Fest would not have been possible without him and the geniuses that we have had in the panel before. So we take another moment to say thank you, Mazen. We were supposed to have a session by a Nubian youth about the importance of art and culture and the impact of it in efforts to revitalize the Nubian language and educate and teach it to new generations. Unfortunately, it would seem that we are not able to connect with them, so they are not going to be joining us today. But we hope that they will be joining us at a later stage. And we take this opportunity to tell you, if you are tuning in, welcome. I see we have 4 people joining us so far, at least on Facebook. I don't know about YouTube and Twitter. But if you are online and you're here, thank you, welcome. Tell us where you're coming from, where you're tuning in and where you're watching us from. Tell us if you know how to play any Nubian music and feel like joining and giving us some Nubian art for the day. If not, we will be rescheduling this. We will be having other sessions for Nubian art and the importance of art and culture in educating the heritage. But I do have something to play for you in a second. And as I dig that up, I will ask Mazen to tell us, how has Nubian art helped you learn the language in any way?
Wow, what a question. So hi everybody. I think Dima just gave me way too much praise. I feel like my head is getting a little big. I don't know if my neck can hold it. But and I think she gave me a lot of undue praise, to be honest. Because this is the brainchild of so many other individuals. I just happened to hop on later on after the brainchild was birthed, and after the idea came together. So Dima definitely gave me too much credit. Yeah, I just, I get told what to post. I post it, and then that's that,
I do no such thing.
But I think it, music is very important. And the arts in general are very vital to Nubian people and to the Nubian language, especially because Nubian is a language that is only just now becoming written. So most of it is oral. There is no, with the exception of maybe a couple of people here and there, I have not really quite found, the language to be written. It's usually orally passed. So people will learn the language by hearing the language because the grammar is so complex. It's not like, in Spanish, you say yo tengo, two, and so on and so forth. It doesn't work like that in Nubian. It's a little bit more convoluted, and it's a little bit more intricate. So music has been very vital in preserving the Nubian language. And as you know, if you've listened to any Nubian artist, or if you've heard any Nubian talk about things, or if you've heard them sing a song, we usually only have 2 types of songs, right? You're only singing a love song, or you're singing a love song to Nubia. So those are the only 2 things. It doesn't, there's nothing outside of that genre. And so, you hear, for example, Wardi, Ikajili Kamashka, when I think of you, when I reminisce about you, I end up missing you so much. And like, whoa, and so you begin to pick up words that way, and you begin to, okay, here Jillika means I think about you, I reminisce about you. Mashka means I miss you. And you begin to put words together like that, and it helps you to put together sentences because, again, the language is passed orally. So I think that's a really cool thing, and that's probably why I listen to a lot of Wardi, and because he's probably the greatest, Nubian musician next to Hamza ad-Din. I'm a little biased because Wardi's from Halfa, but Hamza ad-Din, Wardi, they're right there. If I had to pick that, maybe Wardi would inch him out by like just this much. But nevertheless, nevertheless, and so I think that's really important. And I think we've seen as technology has kind of progressed, and as there are more creatives being, or creativities being accepted, and creatives are being accepted, we see that there are becoming other means of preserving the language through art, for example, like actual drawing. We'll see like murals, for example, that have Nubian written in them or that depict Nubian things. We will see, for example, people make sculptures and structures and things like that, and that'll help to preserve the language, because people then ask questions, and after questions you'll get so many other things. It begins a conversation. You'll find poetry. I know we have a poet watching us. You'll find poets who will definitely begin to speak poetry, and in their poetry you begin to see their sentence structure, and it'll begin to kind of weave together and help preserve the language that way.
So many. We actually had a presentation about that, and I was trying to find it, and for some reason it's not on our YouTube channel. For those of you tuning in, we are also live on YouTube. If you're tuning in on YouTube, welcome. For our inaugural conference, which was held in 2018 at the African Union Mission, it was Africa House at the African Union Mission in Washington, D.C. We had Shadi Keshif, who is now actually our board member, a fellow board member of the Nubia Initiative, give a presentation about Nubian music and how it helps preserve the language. And of course, the case study that the icon that he covered and gave as an example was Hamza Din. And so now every time I hear Hamza again, I stop what I'm doing and I message Shed. I tell him, thank you for bringing that back into my life. Because it's so very important, and little words, and I get really proud of myself now if I'm able to recognize a word and be like, oh, I know this word, but it's because I've been listening to the music, and it's not something I'd done before. So it's definitely a way to familiarize ourselves with the language. There's a lot more to be done, and one of the things I was very excited to do in preparation for Nubia Day, had I stayed in Kabaja in my village, was that we were going to get the kids to learn a few Nubian songs. So we have a singer and a poet in our village, and he was going to write a few children's songs in Nubian so the kids can learn them, and we were so excited for them. But that too will have to wait with all things COVID. The fact that we don't have presenters with us here for this is what we were talking about in the panel before. This calendar is going to be flexible. There are things that are going to be moving. There are as much as we can, we will try and keep it as solid as possible, just so things go as planned. But we appreciate your patience. We appreciate your understanding. It really is the four faces that you saw on the screen with the tech geniuses, of course, at Cloud 68 and the work they've done. But as far as juggling and reaching out and putting all the logistics and the calendars, it's really just the four of us, as we do other things as well. So we're really, really thankful for your patience and your understanding as we navigate this. And again, if you know any Nubian musicians, singers, poets, any artists, please bring them forward and propose a panel, propose a session. You can do it until the 18th of, well, what month are we? I was going to say December. September. We have Sayyid Muhammad Noor, Barakallah Feek, Ahlan wa Sahlan, Shukran, Jazakallah Khair. I will play.
And really quickly, these panels can be in any language. Please don't let the fact that we're speaking English deter you from proposing a panel in any language. So يعني لو عايز تقدم panel ممكن تقدمه بأي لغة. ممكن تقدمه باللغة العربية، باللغة النوبية، بأي لغة أنت يعني شايف يعني في حاجات لازم تتكلم، يعني هتتكلم فيها باللغة النوبية. لو عايز تشرح بالمثل، لو عايز تشرح يعني مسائل نوبية، فعلا هتتكلم باللغة النوبية. لكن ممكن تتكلم بأي لغة. احنا بس بنتكلم بالإنجليزي عشان معظم الناس المتابعين بيتكلموا الإنجليزي، لكن تفضل بأي لغة انت شاعر حتقدر تفهم الناس. لو انت بتتكلم اللغه العربيه تتكلم باللغه العربيه، لو بتتكلم اللغه النوبيه باللغه النوبيه، تتكلم الانجليزي او اي لغه ثانيه. Please, we are looking for people who speak any language. This is open. It is not just for people who speak English, any language.
Absolutely. بالياباني، بالصيني، بالهندي. Nubians have reached everywhere, and we have taken a bit of Nubia with us to wherever we have gone. So wherever you are in the world, wherever you've come to visit our land and our people from the world, we know that انتوا كمان اخذتوا جزء من النوبة ومن روح النوبة ومن حبنا للنوبة معاكم. So please 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 ما في anything deterring us من نحن نتواصل مع بعض وان احنا نشارك بعض في تعزيز الثقافة النوبية. What have you just done?
Sorry, I was touching buttons.
Still playing around with this.
When Dima tells you guys that I'm the tech expert, because I just sit there in the middle of discussions and I just, you know. Sorry, Nubia. Sorry, I said sorry, Nubia. Sorry, Dima.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take Nubia. So we do have one. Oh, hang on. We might be able to have someone tune in. I think you know who I'm speaking of. I don't want to put you in the spot. You are writing me a message now on Facebook. Just say yes or no, and I'll send you the link if you're up for joining. So what we will do is we will stay حوالي ربع ساعة بس عشان نقول للناس إنه we're here, we're thankful إن أنتوا أخذتوا الوقت to join us. وللأسف ما حيكون عندنا السيشن كامل للحديث عن الفن النوبي، ومش حتكون جلسة فنية تراثية لأنه للأسف أنا مش فنانة. الكبيرة أختي الكبيرة هي الفنانة، هي اللي عملت اللوجو والفيديوز والبروموشنز للنوبيا فيست. لكن هي حيكون عندها سيشن خلال الأسبوع إن شاء الله تكونوا متابعين and you're able to see it على الكالندر. Let's see if she has responded. No, not yet. Okay, here we are. Mazen, have you watched Opera Aida?
Have I watched?
Or heard of it?
Sorry, I have not.
You have not? No, it's fine. I haven't yet, but I have heard the songs, the music of, well, some of it. And in many, they say it is the story of Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahmed is here. Hello, Ahmed. Ahmed Al-Haj is here. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We will be here for another 15 minutes as we just appreciate the fact that you are taking the time to come into Nubia Fest. And to let you know, once again, please feel free to propose a panel, to propose a session, to ask us questions about something you want to learn about. And we will try and find someone to come and give this session about just that. What can we do? We are also hoping that later on in the week, we will have Ray Phillips, who joined us in our inaugural forum, and she sang a song for Nubia from Aida. That's why I was asking you if you know about it, Mazen. So without giving the story away, in many ways, people will tell you the story of Aida is the story of Nubia, but there is a song in that play, in that opera that's called The Gods Love Nubia. And she has such a wonderful voice. A little bit about Ray. Herman Bell introduced me to her.
Oh, the doctor, the professor, al-muallim.
Yes, yes, yes. Because Ray was invited to go to Sudan from the US for the Nubian festival they were having there. She learned enough Nubian to sing in Nubian.
Wow, mashallah.
The festival. And so she sang Nubian in Arabic and in English. And we're very, very lucky to have her join us at the conference, the inaugural conference. And so I'm just going to play her song now. But the entire conference, unfortunately, with the exception of Shadi's, I don't know where it is, Shadi's presentation about the importance of music, because that would have been perfect to play it here. Was there? No, let's see. Here. Okay.
Take me in, my dreams recurring, cheerful as a childhood day, into one partakes of freedom. One more long backward glance. In this way of somber music, I will never, ever understand. Let me slip into the sweeter chorus of that other land. The gods of Nubia, the beautiful, the golden, the radiant, the fertile, the gentle, and the blessed. The pain of Nubia is only of the moment. The desolate, the suffering, the plunder, the oppressed. The gods love Nubia, its glorious creation. Across the souls most swiftly, across the heart it fled. The tears of Nubia are only of the moment. They wash into the river and they never cry again. We have to keep believing. So scattered and divided, we lost. Oh, the pain of Nubia, only of the moment. Always finally. Take me in, my dreams recurring. Cheerful life, a childhood day, into one vortex of freedom. Oh, the beautiful, the golden. We have to keep believing, so scattered and divided. We are still its heart, the fall of Nubia, with only of the moment, the spirit
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. This is Abdullah Muhammad Abdul.
The voice of the Dr. Sabbar.
It is the voice of the Dr. Sabbar, and I will actually post this link here for anyone who is interested in hearing this his talk, which was phenomenal. And I think it's very, very fitting that this is what we're putting in, just as I bring in the architect. Minna, thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. Emerging the new generation architect, and Dr. Abdullah Sabbar, the phenomenal, amazing architect who built the Kerma Museum.
ماما أنا أتفرج على كمبيوتر.
Oh,
أنا في الشغل هنا.
I can't hear you. You're cutting. Your voice is kind of.
I hear a little one in the background, and I'm just like, where is this little one? Hi!
Oh, this is Bah.
Hi, Bah! How are you?
And as Bah joins us, let me go back because I have to comment on this. As we heard the voice of Dr. Sabbar, and we stand on the shoulders of greats. We're not starting from scratch here. Yes, we are displaced. Yes, we have been dispossessed. Yes, our architecture has been wiped out due to so many things, and still is being wiped out with climate change and all the bad things that are happening in Sudan now. But we are not empty-handed or bankrupt culturally, right? We have giants still with us, teaching us and giving us a shoulder to stand on so that we can make something again.
Yes.
And now Bach is doing something dangerous. Anyways, it's okay.
We're risk takers. Nubians are nothing if not risk takers. I'll tell you. We have Ahmed Al-Haj saying, love her voice. Thank you, Ahmed. Yes, her voice is amazing, and we hope she will be having a session. This is in reference to Ray. Hopefully she will be having a session with هو أنا ممكن أكون كرتون على فكرة يا بحر، بس هيكون كرتون غريب شوي.
Yeah.
أشرف عباس saying السلام عليكم وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. We have Minna Ara with us here, who is an architect who will be having her own session later on in the week called What is Nubian Architecture Anyway? I'm very, very excited about that because obviously, you know, there's a certain image of Nubian homes that we see. and that's where the mind goes immediately. So I'm very curious to see from a professional, from an expert's perspective, what that looks like. But tell us in the meantime, architecture from an artistic perspective, how has it helped preserve the heritage?
Well, if we're going to speak about art and performance as expression, you know, performance as a technology of self, technology of creating and manifesting self, architecture is just right in there. We just use it a bit much more, you know, we just live in it. It's bigger, but it's still in itself, it is a representation and a performance. That's why it's so important that we know exactly what it is. We don't get stuck somewhere that we think we want because we think we don't have anything else waiting for us in the future. It's very important to not just find a certain image of what we think is Nubian art, Nubian architecture. It's upon us Nubians to now perform, you know, it's upon us now to perform and think, so what is Nubian art? What is Nubian expression coming from us? You know, these lovely people with lovely brown faces and broken Nubian Arabic / Nubian or Arabic. I'm not sure how. It's a generation with broken Nubian. I'm sure my Nubian is horrible. Ask my grandmother.
at least you have Nubian.
That's,
It's non-existent in this side, which is why I'm very grateful for Mazen, because he's been like correcting me little by little as I go. So for example, you know, with saying what was it, the Nuba Uneli, and the difference between Uneli versus Uni, and you know, granted it could be different from village to another, but it's just the intricacies of it, and the more we use it, the more we practice it, the more we learn, and also being open to being corrected.
yes, I get corrected all the time. And I have heard Mazen's closing statement in Nubian for your introductory meeting and your introductory video. Great Nubian, at least better than mine. Nice to see you, to talk to you in person, Mazen.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you very much.
So Mazen will also be joining us in the Nubia Unbound panel, where we talk about Nubians beyond borders and boundaries. And friends, family who are tuning in, this panel will be on Saturday. We still have room to have more people in the discussion. If you are interested to bring in your perspective of what being Nubian means to you, please reach out to us. Please reach out to me personally. My whether my Twitter or to the Nubia Fest email. Here, let's put the Nubia Fest email here on the tracker, and let us know that you would be interested in this specific panel, and you are more than welcome to join, because you know we come in so many different colors and packages and phases with backgrounds and all of that. So all is welcome. It's all love. It's all Nubia. And on that note, it is 4 p.m. in the United States. We did have a question saying, where do we all live? So Mazen, and then I'll go to Minna, and then, so say where you live, but also give your arrivederci statement until tomorrow.
Sure. So I am Mazen Khalil again. I live in the maybe third greatest city in the world, and that is Brooklyn, New York. And I am, well, I mean, come on, you can't have a city greater than like Mecca al-Mukarrama, you know, and then Halfa is like number 2. So like,
wait, instead the Nubian, you can't have a city greater than Mecca al-Mukarrama?
we're Muslim, come on. I mean, like, come on. And then that's why Halfa is number 2.
No, دي مالهاش علاقة. شو دخلت تصدق مرحبا we're Muslim عشان يبقى مكة المكرمة.
بالضبط يعني مش فاهمة.
That's why Halfa is number 2.
No.
That's why Halfa is number 2. And then Brooklyn, New York can be number 3. I think number 3, the third greatest city, is okay. But yeah, that's where I am tuning in from. Excited to see what the rest of the week has for us. Today's been a very packed day. And inshallah, I'm very thankful for everybody who's joining us, and I hope to see you guys across the rest of the week as well.
Thank you, Mazen. Minna.
I disagree. Mazen. I disagree. But I live in. I just moved back from Oregon to Liège, which is a city an hour away from Brussels in Belgium. And yeah, that's where, because this is where I did my doctoral studies, and I just spent a year teaching in the US and just landed back.
Welcome back. Can we find what time is your panel for the architecture, so we can also give a shout out to that? I am Dima Mahmoud, and I am currently tuning in from Maryland, though earlier this year I have relocated and finally moved to my village in Shamaliya in Sudan, which I now miss very much, and I hold them and the rest of my Sudani brothers and sisters in prayers in my heart with all that is going on as far as the floods. Please keep them all in your prayers, and inshallah the Nile stays as a source of life and not death and not destruction, and may this flood only cleanse our land from the corruption. May it only cleanse our land from the hypocrisy, from anything that has been eating at the heart of our unity and our greatness as a people, because as a people, we are absolutely great. So on that note, I say thank you to all of you who have tuned in. Mazen, you have something? Oh, for the announcement.
Yes. So Minna's What is a Nubian Architecture Anyway panel will be on Saturday, the 18th at 5 p.m. UTC. That is for all of you folks in Europe and that side of the world. For everybody on the eastern side of the world, it will be at 1 p.m. Eastern time zone. And we're excited for that panel.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, we are. Muhammad Al-Rashid, how are you again? And your guests, hello, welcome. I'm very well, thank you. The guests, as you see, are thriving and beautiful and tuning in at different hours of the day. Even with Bahr raging with the waves in the background, and Mazen having stayed up late to make sure we have things set. What is your village in Sudan? It is Kabaja. I am Mahasiya from the Mahas, and so I'm about an hour away from Dungla. It's not yet on the map, but it will be. This is a promise I made to my people. Thank you all for tuning in. Please keep coming back. Keep checking into our page on Nubia Fest here on YouTube, the Nubia Initiative page. Give us your questions. Tell us what you want to learn about. If you have something to teach us, please, please, please propose a panel. So love. We look forward to hearing from you and seeing you again throughout the week. Thank you so much. Afia logo.